people. I'm Emily from the Amy Mouse. Feel free to check out our channel, but today we'll be doing another episode of Behind the Lyrics, and today we're talking about what keeps you warm at night. Stay tuned. What Keeps You Warm at Night was actually, if you hadn't noticed, it's the namesake of the album, our first album, Whispers of a Dream, is a lyric that came from What Keeps You Warm at Night. And it was the last song that we wrote for the album. We talked about writing a song called What Keeps You Warm at Night, and it was going to be like this really heavy rock song. It was going to be about like, well, what gets you through the night, right? It's like, don't judge other people, like if it's alcohol, if it's drugs, if it's sex, if it's whatever. Everyone has some kind of a crutch, right? And that's what the original inspiration for the song was going to be. Obviously, it didn't turn out like that. Whispers of a dream leave me left undone. The shadow of a memory, but there is no sun. Say there's nothing to hide, but your secrets won't. And you think you know, oh, but darling, you don't. So I will say, half of this song came from, I keep songbooks, I keep them on my phone, and some notes. And like occasionally when I need inspiration, I'll just go through the old notes because it's not just songs in there. Sometimes there's like snippets of ideas that I have that I never do anything with. And so a big majority of this song came from my songbook and those snippets that I'd never used. So like the shadow of a memory, but there is no sun. I really liked that because it's like, well, in order to have a shadow, you need to have a light source. If there's no sun, how's that gonna happen, right? And you think you know, oh, but darling, you won't was another one. I think Whispers of a Dream, Leave Me Left Undone is another one too, because it's like when you wake up from a dream and then you're all unsettled because like the dream was disconcerting in some way or another. Pick your poison and a time to overdose and say you're fine. In the pre-chorus, I definitely picked back up on the like, well, what keeps you warm at night? With the overdose line. Everyone's got their poison. There will be another day for all the hurt and all the pain. But just for tonight, can we forget and hold tight? There will be another hour to pretend you have the power. Don't try to hide what keeps you warm at night. Basically, again, pretty straightforward, as most of my songs are. But I was kind of talking about like, it's okay to admit that you have a crutch of some kind, right? We don't have to talk about it right now, but it's okay to not have to put up your guards in front of some people. It's like, it's difficult to survive when you can't feel like you could go to anyone, right? It's very isolating. So, this idea is like, this song is like your way to get through the night. There's someone else right there beside you, and they're gonna be there, and they're like, we're going to get through this together. Despite any hurt and pain that you're going through right now, we're going to forget about it for right now, and we're going to get through the night. If we can get through the night, we can get to tomorrow, and that's just one step in the right direction. Whispers of a dream leave me left undone. The shadow of a memory, but there is no sun. Say there's nothing to know but what you don't. And you think you'll know, oh, but darling, you won't. It's half of the same lyrics as the verse because I kind of like that, but I switched it up a little bit. So say there's nothing to know but what you don't. There's something that, so my dad and my sister, I'm pretty sure, both say, I know what I know. And that kind of inspired this. It's like, say there's nothing to know but what you don't. So you only know what you know, you don't know what you don't know. Or sometimes you do know what you don't know. This is getting very confusing. You get the point. And then there's a second chorus that comes after the chorus that repeats itself because there wasn't a bridge. So when Ben handed me the MIDI demo, because I gave him the piano demo of me with the voice memo, and he was like, okay, give me the chorus. And then he put together the MIDI demo, and there was an extra chorus at the end. So I was like, what am I going to do with this? So I decided to, instead of repeating the chorus again, because there's so much repetition in the song, I decided to write a second chorus for the ending, which is probably my favorite part of the song. There will be another day for us to throw it all away. But just for now, can we turn this around? There will be to pretend you aren't mine. Don't hide what keeps you warm at night. So it's kind of the same concept. In the recording that's on the album, in this verse, when I say to pretend you weren't mine, my voice cracked. And that wasn't planned, but I talked myself leaving into the track and then was like, okay, do whatever you want. But the inspiration for that was kind of like, so there's a singer that I like, her name is Aurora. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's Norwegian, she's cool, you can check her out. But in some of her interviews, she talks about how like some of the most beautiful things about humans are their imperfections. So like, if there's an ugly picture of you in the middle of a laugh, or like you have a double chin or something, it's so human that it's beautiful. And the same kind of thing was going for the voice crack, and I was like, well, it kind of fits the theme of the song of like, don't hide, it's how you are, it's who you are, it's natural, it's human, you know? It's not really lyrics, but kind of, you could argue. But yeah, it's kind of the same concept, it's kind of expanding on it. It's more of like, let's get through the night to get to tomorrow. At another point, we can pretend that this wasn't a thing, to pretend you weren't mine, but for right now, let's just get through the night. Thank you for watching this episode of Behind the Lyrics. Stay tuned for another one. Leave a comment if there's another song that you'd like me to do Behind the Lyrics for. Be sure to leave a like and to subscribe. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.